Hi everybody, welcome. On December 25th, 26th, we've got a powerful solar eclipse in Capricorn at 4 degrees and 6 minutes. Capricorn is in the spotlight with 5 planets, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in Capricorn, as well as the South Node. This is really an opportunity for us to re-evaluate everything that we have to do with our material world. Capricorn, an earth sign. How we structure our world. Our finances. We have a trine to Uranus. The economy, the global finances, they seem to be growing and growing. Money is being printed out of thin air. Who is ever going to pay all these debts? Most countries are actually bankrupt, and yet continuing regardless. We've been living in an era of great materialism. More. Another car, another house, another this, another that. And yet, we have many people now with student loans that they can barely pay off, lumbering under the weight of heavy debts. Very few people owning the majority of the assets upon our planet, and things not so equitable. So what can we do about this? Because chances are, as we begin this new decade, there are going to be some turbulent changes within the economy, within governments, within structures. What can we do as individuals? The way I see Capricorn, it's the sea goat. So there's the goat that's going upwards, struggling and climbing upwards all the time, and then its tail is in the sea. So whilst there is this very practical planning side to Capricorn, there is also the divine side, the unseen side, in the water, the emotional, the side of Capricorn that we don't often see, but is certainly present. I'd like to really relate a little story here that I think might help you to use these energies in a constructive way. Because we've got to admit that all these planets in Capricorn actually have quite a weight to them. This is not an easy time, ha time. It's not. And many of us are going through big struggles, difficulties, challenges, financially, relationships, career, home situation, everywhere. It is a time of crisis. Crisis, the word for opportunity apparently in Chinese. Please correct me, those of you from that neck of the world. But there was a king, and he was disabled. He was born with one eye and one leg. And he wanted somebody, one of his artists in his kingdom, to paint him. So he invited 3 of the best artists to come along. And the first artist painted him with one leg and one eye. And when the king saw that, he was so upset, he said, "You're banished, go." And the second artist, well, he saw what had happened, he thought, well, I better do something different here. And so he painted him with 2 legs and 2 eyes. And when the king saw that, he said, "But that's not how I look. Exile for you." And then the third artist really thought really carefully, and he came up with something ingenious. He came up with putting him on a horse, sideways on, so you could only see one leg, and he was pulling an arrow, a bow and arrow, so he had one eye closed. Brilliant. He made the best of what he had. And to me, this is what this energy of Capricorn, particularly the Pluto-Saturn build-up that we have towards January the 12th, is how can you make the best of what you've been given? It's a bit like in poker, if you get a really rough hand. Well, sometimes people with really rough hands win the pot. So no matter how hard a situation is, just know that it's probably a gift for you to grow through, to become more. how can I creatively make the best use of the resources that I do have? How can I be the best that I can be in this moment? To see that there is a divine reason why you are in a particular place. And to look for that divine reason. Why am I here? Every moment you see then becomes alive. And then you're doing the Capricorn energy, which is making best use of each moment in your life. And it is said that in the darkest of places is where the most light can be extracted. As well, we've got this North Node in Cancer, so very much moving away from this past of feeling guilty, of feeling ashamed for things that you could have done, might have done differently. And you might be looking at those things as we come to the end of the year and making some New Year's resolutions. Perfect time for it. But it's also the perfect time for seeing our world as one big family. And that each one of us is needed as part of that tapestry of light beings. So it's a bit like if you can imagine when somebody says to you, stand up straight. So you stand up straight, you make an effort. And what if I were to say to you, okay, now stand up a little straighter? You would be able to go further, wouldn't you? Further than you did originally. So what I feel is being called for here is to really stretch just that little bit further every single day, to push yourself to do something that's a little difficult. I can tell you that it's difficult every time to come up with something new for these videos every couple of weeks. I really have to push myself. And sometimes I feel lazy. I think, I'll leave it another day. But no. It's always a joy when I've pushed myself, I feel like I've accomplished something. And that is what Capricorn is all about, accomplishing something. And if something comes too easy for you, it's amazing. Let's say you're going to do a jigsaw puzzle and it's really easy. You're bored in 5 minutes. If it's a little difficult, not too difficult, and you do it, you feel great. You feel as though, hey, I've deserved it. So that is another element to take into account with this solar eclipse in Capricorn. I want to thank so many of you for following me, for your encouragement, your support, for putting up with me changing my name to Bracha in these last few weeks, and really for allowing me to co-create with you and to grow with you on this channel. And I want to wish you the very, very best for this new year. I've done a painting, came through for this solar eclipse. And the way I see this is each one of you is one of these globes of light, all different, and each one extremely important to the whole. So remember you're important. I'm going to finish up with a song that is a seasonal one that I hope will soothe your soul. It's time for some soul soothing during this holiday season. For those of you who celebrate, happy holidays, and I wish you the very best for the start of this new decade. Bye for now. Thank you. May this be a healthy, peaceful year ahead for you. Happy holidays.